Hi there, I'm Stuart Robinson, Content Director for Bauer Media Audio here in Northern Ireland. And the latest RADAR listening figures have just been released for UK radio stations, and in Northern Ireland, radio as a medium is absolutely thriving. Almost 30 million hours of radio are consumed here each and every week. That's nearly 1.5 million people now tuning into the radio. 93% of Northern Ireland's population say they listen to their favourite station at some point during the course of a week. And speaking of favourite stations, it's our stations right here that are surpassing all expectations. We've now over 800,000 listeners tuning in to either Downtown Radio, Cool FM, Downtown Country or Greatest Hits Northern Ireland every week, listening for a total of just under a record 9 million hours. And fueling these record-breaking figures, the number one station, Cool FM. It has 527,000 weekly listeners. It's the out-and-out biggest station in Northern Ireland now. In fact, it's the only station here that now has over 500,000 weekly listeners, and that means more than a third of the entire population of the country tune in to Cool at some point during the week for the favourite songs of right now, or maybe even the famous Cash Call from John Kearns. And here in the Cool FM studio, this station's success can't be underplayed. The top 3 most listened to radio shows now in Northern Ireland come from right here at Cool FM. Shows like PK in mid-morning, Curtis in the afternoon show, and also Pete, Paolo and Rebecca now with their biggest ever audience at breakfast of 325,000 listeners. That is a record. And even in the much coveted 9 AM to 10:30 AM time slot, Cool FM even outperforms all other stations by weekly reach in Northern Ireland in this time band. Made even more impressive when you consider Cool FM doesn't benefit from FM coverage province-wide. And it's thanks to our investment and growth in digital capabilities that's allowing us to unlock record audiences from right here in this building. The radio market in Northern Ireland has never been so competitive or crowded, and we've been strategically working hard to find new audiences in new ways. We're utilising digital to reach new listeners, so whether it's via your mobile phone, smart speaker, DAB radio, or your many social and digital platforms, you'll have access to all the content from Downtown Cool FM all at ease. And here at Downtown Radio, we've also seen audiences grow. 300,000 people almost tune into Downtown each week for the home of great music, listening for just over 3 million hours. And Gary and Glenn, well, they are now the number 2 most listened to commercial radio show at breakfast time in Northern Ireland, with 156,000 people weekly tuning in for their crack and banter each and every morning. As a network, Downtown now reaches 360,000 people every week, listening for a record 4.1 million listening hours. Elsewhere within the portfolio, Bauer now have the top 3 digital-only stations in Northern Ireland. That includes Downtown Country, which now reaches 122,000 American and Irish country music-loving fans each and every week. Meanwhile, Greatest Hits Radio Northern Ireland, our newest edition, now hits 70,000 listeners here each week. So whoever you are and wherever you are listening to the Bauer stations across Northern Ireland, we would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your support.